Hey, what's going on, boys? This video we're about to dive into today isn't really for the ladies. So if you are a lady, sure, hang around, watch it if you want. But one of you guys sent this to me, and I thought it would be interesting, cool to stream this one or to record this one along with you guys. So I think a lot of you guys who haven't seen this yet, you might want to buckle up. This one's this one's gonna be good. We're about to jump into this video, break it down. We're diving in deep here. All right, so if you guys just let's not waste time. Grab your snacks, kick back. Let's hit the play on this thing, eh? All right.
Never forget that no matter how nice she looks, no matter how friendly her eyes look, you look in her eyes, they sparkle, and you see her, and it makes your day. I know that feeling.
Oh, fuck, it's bright. I need my
When it gets right down to it, it's like hail in a can. At the end, they throw the flag up, and they tell you how much you owe them. And they'd like a tip with that, please. Boys, never forget that. And in this lecture today, boys, I want to talk about money. Women want your money. Sure, there are exceptions, and if you are an exception, you probably have friends who are like you. Generally speaking, women want your money, men. And you can't see it because you want poon. They know you want poon, and so they get themselves into position to get your money. Because you are temporarily insane while you're trying to get a woman's panties off, many of you will start spending money. Now, some of you, maybe, like your professor, don't spend a lot in the beginning, but maybe once you're in a relationship, you're not as careful. And perhaps you buy your live-in girlfriend or your wife a car, or you buy a big house for her to live in with you. Perhaps you take her on an expensive vacation. And many women equate love with your ability to support them.
Sign your life away.
In other words, women love to feel secure. One thing that makes women feel secure is your money. So you'd be amazed how much women love you if you have money. And by the way, what is a lot of money? Well, to each person, it's a different amount of money. If a woman makes $22,000 a year and she meets a man who makes $32,000 a year, she thinks she's hit the jackpot. So you don't have to have a lot of money to be in this position. But what it gets right down to is that women think their company is worth more than ours. They think their sexual availability has monetary value that ours doesn't. Or at least they try to con us into believing that's the case. And they believe that once they have the keys to our place, once they are officially the girlfriend or the wife or whatever, the live-in,
Moths to the flame.
that it is your job to shovel money in their direction. And in many cases, their love is directly correlated to how well you are able to support the enterprise. Whether it be a relationship, whether it be a live-in relationship, whether it be a marriage, whether it be a marriage with kids, whether it be a live-in relationship with kids. It's amazing how much a woman's love has to do with how well you support the family. It's amazing how many women stop loving you if you are unable to work, or depressed, or in some cases unwilling to work for a period of time. Amazing how many of these women who quote-unquote love you suddenly stop loving. Now, boys, I've been married and divorced 4 times, and I've had other relationships as well. So I'm going to tell you that when you fall in love, you can't see this. Let me tell you what the other end is like when you get out. When you get out, women want money to leave. They not only want money to move in, they not only want money to have sex with you, they not only want money to spend time with you, they not only want money so they can look at you with puppy dog eyes and pretend to be interested in what you have to say. When you want them to go, they want money for that too. So when you tell a woman to leave, she wants money. She wants you to help her move. She wants you to pay for her furniture. She wants you to pay for her security deposit, first and last month's rent. She'd like a lump sum, too. And if she can't get you to voluntarily give it, and she got you to marry her, she will ultimately get an attorney and find a way to get the money out of you. And even if she doesn't hire an attorney to get the money out of you, suddenly you'll find out how much she doesn't love you once she tells you how much money you owe her. Because what it comes down to is how much money you can provide to the enterprise. I mean, imagine. Are there women out there, are there needles in a haystack out there who, when a relationship is over, they say, I don't want anything, I'm just getting out of here? Yes, there are exceptions to the rule like that. But generally speaking, women want money to have sex with you. They want money to become your girlfriend. They want money to move in with you. When they move in with you, they want you to pay the rent, you to pay for the groceries, you to pay for the clothing. They want you to buy them a car. They want you to put them through school or pay their debts off. They want you to pay for the wedding. They want you to pay for their kids, provide them sperm, provide them cashola. And then when you want them to leave, they want you to pay them to leave. That's the way this works. And the reason I have been...
And just a little second here, like key moments where he's like, are there women out there that are like needles in haystacks, and then when the relationship is over, they leave, they say, I don't want anything, I just want to get out of here. I had a very similar situation like that, where, when I was with, goddamn piece of shit camera, when I was with my ex, but, it was better over here. When I was with my lady, and she had bought in like I'm not gonna say any names because I'm not getting sued for that. Fuck that shit. But she had bought in a car for like $22,000 plus interest, which equaled out to like $33,000 over time, because interest compounds. So when we had broken up, she's like, I don't want anything, I'm just gonna leave. But I know for a fact it's because I could have took that car away from her, and she had spent 5 years paying it off. So she just thought, I'm gonna get out of here. I don't need his stuff. I don't need to cause trouble. I just want to take my car and leave. And I was like, okay. So there are some instances where things like that happen, but not just for nothing. There's always there's always some reason, form or another. The needle in a haystack could be from any kind of inconvenience that would have stopped her from taking you for everything, basically cleaning you out. Whether that could have been she had something valuable of hers that she didn't want, that she valued more than anything else. It could be this as simple as fact of she just wanted a quiet breakup. She didn't want to. It would be like humiliating for both people to go through all this. But there's always something. Whether the breakup's about to, how it's about to impact your life, could be for the better, could be for the worse. But if you have some form of leverage, there's always some form of leverage. Someone is getting something better out of the deal of what's happening. And maybe she doesn't see it that way, but you should count your blessings if she finds something that's more valuable to her than taking you for everything, fucking roll with it. Just go, just go with it, because you'll be a much better off in the long run, spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, all those things. You don't want to be one of these guys that are like these, guys out here. They're just so asleep. They have no idea what they're signing up for. You saw everybody signing the fucking contract on those things. Yes, like they don't realize that they've just signed their entire fucking life savings away to some broad who cares. Oh, getting married, it's going to be so nice. We're going to have so much fun. And then the guys go, well, fuck, I didn't sign up for this. Why did I get married for? I didn't know the laws behind getting married. I didn't know the implications. I was just told this is what I was supposed to do I was told I was supposed to do this. I was supposed to show society that I'm a good guy, and and all this crazy shit that goes on in mindset. But at the end of the whole thing, we all know it's just because we all want pussy. That's all it is. I just want a vagina. And so he might just be pressured into, you know, doing this to impress his family, or pressured by the family, or pressured by her family, or she's throwing down the ultimatum, being like, well, if we don't get a ring, if you don't commit to me, if you don't do this, well, why am I in a relationship? I don't feel secure. And that's really what it is. Women just really want your security, right? So that's what all this is all crap. You don't need to do this in order to get pussy, and you don't need to do this to keep pussy. You really don't. Like I said before in my last video, if you are the guy, you could go to fucking jail. Should be up there rubbing her tits on the fucking glass for you. You know what I mean? Don't be doing dumb shit like this. Getting married.
Having this on my mind because I was thinking back on a previous relationship with someone who was funny and lit up my life just to see her come into the room. She was fun, she was funny, she was energetic, she was wonderful.
Always trying to.
And it wasn't until she left and told me how much money she thought she ought to get that I realized there was no love going on there at all. It was just somebody who wanted money. And her love was directly proportional to how much money I would provide. Amazingly, after she was gone, the number of phone calls deteriorated, the number of encounters in person deteriorated. And most of the phone calls centered around money. How much she had, how much she needed, how much I ought to send over there. It was all about the money. And you know, when you spend time with somebody and you think you love them and they think, or they let you think that they love you, you find out how much they don't love you later on when it's over, and then they tell you how much money you owe them for the experience. I was once with somebody who I told, hey, you know what, I don't think this relationship's working out. We've got different values. It isn't happening. I'd like out. And all of a sudden it turned from love to, here's how much money I want. But it can be quite an empty feeling when you find out how somebody just wanted money. Oh, yes, they loved you while they were there. And oh, yes, they acted like they loved you. Oh, yes, they took lots of photographs of the two of you together and everything, and it looked like you had all this fun. But the reality is, underlying it all, they want money. When you meet a woman, you must remember that no matter how friendly she seems, no matter how funny she is, no matter how good she makes you feel, physically, emotionally, mentally, whatever, somewhere in there she thinks that she's being hired for an occupation. This is an employment position. And in exchange for providing you with her time and her good cheer, she wants money. You owe her money for that. That is the attitude of many women. And that's why sometimes when I look back on relationships of the past, and I try to think about the good times I had with particular people, it's difficult. Because after the relationship was over, you find out just how much of it was about money. How much they want, how much you should give them, how much they're entitled to, how much their time is worth. Women have talked about, I gave you the best years of my life. Yeah. Like they got nothing out of it during the time you were together. Like essentially you were renting their time, and that had value, and therefore they want your money.
And this isn't like you don't figure this out right away in the beginning. This is like a slow process over time that you begin to sort of connect the dots, and as you begin to have children, and things become more expensive, and the economy, goes down the tubes, the crapper, and you lose your job, and then you really start seeing how hard being in a relationship or in a marriage with kids, how ugly it can really get. You know what I mean? When the economy goes to shit, and tariffs start flying all over the fucking place, and businesses start closing, and there's little tariffs on aluminum and steel and fucking wood, and let's say you work in the mills, and all the mills shut down, and you'll see how fast your fucking relationship how fast that shit tanks. And over time, though, it's a slow process of figuring out, hey, I thought we were through this. I thought the vows that we took with each other were through thick and thin, no matter in sickness and in health, in death and in love, and all those vows that people get married for and all that stuff. But then there's so much cheating too going on in the West, and it's just become everyone's cheating. Don't tell me you're not. Everyone's cheating. I know for a fact because just me alone, how many people's wives have I already banged? Sorry, bro, but man, I can only get what I can get. Women can bang anyone they want, but men typically can only get what they can get. I've had a lot of wives come over here and go, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. I don't even know who the husband is. Like, I'm just another dude, and that's kind of how I want to live my life. Just because I like seeing stuff like this. I love seeing through all the bullshit of all of this and understand, because that's what it is. That's what this video is trying to teach us, is to just look past all the bullshit so that you don't end up in a slow, just rotting away in this like fucking hell of a business transaction that you've just made with somebody. That's what it is. Having kids with someone is a business. It's not a fucking, we're in love and we're gonna no, it's a business. And sure, maybe the business is making you happy. Anybody who has a successful business is happy in it, of course. But when the business isn't doing good, how many investors pull out, right? And you got to remember, women are investors too, and when they marry you, they're investing into your future. And so if you don't, you're like a stock. If you don't keep going up, if you draw, a lot of the times too, women will bail when the stock drops. Bam! Oh my God! Everyone pull out. But that's the worst time to pull out because like a phoenix rising from the ashes, you pull yourself up again when the chips are down. Men are problem solvers. We always have been. When things go really fucking bad, watch what we can do. That's when we're really about to fucking pull the rabbit out of our ass. You know what I mean? That's when we start thinking. That's when the brain chemistry starts going, what am I good at? What can I do? Fuck delivering pizzas. I'm gonna go be a fucking trucker. We need money. Bam! And you just start thinking, I'm gonna go get my class one. I can. Oh shit! I forgot I'm native. I can go get that shit for free. Like, what am I doing? Like, you start. Everything just kind of starts connecting. So you didn't even have to pay for a fucking. You didn't have to pay for school. You found out that your mom was half Métis or whatever, and you're off to the races. Oh, you never know. Everyone's different. Everyone's circumstances are different. But a lot of the times, though, eh, a lot of people don't make it in this business, and that's what this is a business.
Every once in a while, I think back on women I've been with, women I've dated, women I've lived with, women I have married. I think back and I try to...
Because when the stock market's down low, that's when you buy more, right? Because that's when it shoots back up. And then you're just ramping it. You're going forward. Yeah, I just had to get that last part in there.
Think back on all the good times we had. Sometimes I look through old photographs and see some of the things we were doing and saying, God, that looks like that was fun. Oh, I remember this. I remember that. Then every once in a while you're jolted into reality because, like, you look at the person's face in the photograph and you're saying, well, wait a minute, when it was all over, she boiled it down to dollars and cents. She pretty much had an amount in mind, and she started telling you what the amount was. So all that time you thought you were having fun, it was like hiring, not quite a hooker, because it's more than just sex, but it's like hiring an escort for a long period of time. And in the long run, women feel they should be compensated for the time they spend with you. As you go out with women, date them, have sex with them, never lose sight of that, boys. Never forget that no matter how nice she looks, no matter how friendly her eyes look, you look in her eyes, they sparkle, and you see her and it makes your day. I know that feeling. When it gets right down to it, it's like hail in a cab. At the end, they throw the flag up and they tell you how much you owe them. And they'd like a tip with that, please. Boys, never forget that.
Damn. That's like literally living in the Matrix. And that's basically what it is, right? It's everything is money and business. So if you can lone wolf it for a while till you build up that nest egg, till you build up, you know, your castle, your fortitude, um, your fortress of solitude or whatever, your sanctuary, a safe haven, a place where you can stay fit, stay healthy, build a home gym, so you don't have to go to. Because if you go to the gym now, you know you're just gonna get, you're gonna look in some chick's direction. She's gonna recording. You looked at my ass. Like, look at this creep behind me looking at my ass, and then you get banned from the gym. And you need to avoid all that fucking humiliation. Build a home gym, boys. Build a fucking home gym. Don't get out there and start fucking around. You know, soon it's gonna cost money just to breathe around women. You know what I mean? Like it's getting bad out there. So, um, just because of how messed up society is right now with the West and the housing market and everything like that, this is too much of a gamble. In order for a man to be successful, so that you're not homeless living on the fucking street, so you can become like the top 10% or 20% of men or whatever, while the rest of the 80% are letting their lives be run over by these chicks. Um, the rest of us who are almost like free from the matrix are able to fucking almost like a symbiote, right? That's why I always drink my Venom coffee here. It's like it's almost because it just reminds me of like what a relationship is. It's like a bond. It's like bonding with a fucking symbiote. And when you want to break free from it, she just doesn't want to let go, and you're like, "Fuck, get off me!" It's just ugh. But because they know deep down they cannot live without men. We're the ones that actually build society. We're the ones that keep the fucking water going, the water clean. We're the ones that keep the fucking the chips going to the mill so that you can have paper to write your little love songs on when you're making, when you're doing piano classes or whatever the fuck, art, all that crap. We're the ones that uh, invented to police force. Right, we're the ones that invented like houses. We're the ones that built houses. We built trucks. We built cars. We built engines. And sure, some girl invented Wi-Fi, but who invented the internet? Who invented electricity? Sure, a girl invented Bluetooth or whatever, but big deal. So what? That's like making that's like a man making a PlayStation and then having a girl be like, "Well, I made this cute little indie video game." It's like neat. You know what I mean? It's like, yes, we've made society so that women can really participate in it now, but it's almost like women are trying to literally fucking take over, and then just they can just fucking, this man isn't worth it. Get this man out of my life. He's no use to me. Where's my fucking mansion? Where's my yacht? Where's like, just men just have money to these chicks, right? That's what these chicks are. They just have money. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, go out and get money as a man. Do it. You have to. Otherwise, the alternative is fucking homeless on the street and fucking smoking crack. Who the fuck wants to live that life, right? I mean, maybe when the chips are really down and there's no fucking way of getting back out of it, like, sure, fine, go for the fucking crack. I would argue against that. I'd say, you know what, you just need to find a hobby, find some bros, find somewhere you can hang around, but don't get sucked into shit like this. Get married just to virtue signal or whatever and show off to your buddies like, oh, I begged a hot girl. Like any other guy can see through this shit. And it's not that because guys aren't out here getting laid. I've been laid plenty of times. It's not hard to go to the club. I go to the club. I just sit there with a fucking with a glass of water because I don't drink. I drive down to the club, after working out, and I'll wear my hoodie and my hat, and I'm not even dressed to be. I act like I'm too fucking cool for the place. I'm 34. I don't give a fuck. I'll just sit there with my drink, baby it, and just look at everybody. I'll just like watch people, and I just like to people watch. And chicks will come up to me and they'll be like, "How come you're not dancing? How come you're not doing that? I've been watching you all night. You haven't moved. What's going on? What, you just think you're too cool or what?" Like, blah, blah, blah. And you just sit there and go, "Oh, what's going on? What, oh, are you nervous?" You're like, "No, I'm not nervous to talk to chicks. I just know that this works." Well, it's like, well, I just like older guys because you're more established, and I can tell you're an older guy. All these younger guys, they just keep. It's like Night at the Roxbury. All the guys that try and dance with chicks. I see that. I'm literally the guy sitting there watching guys making like gesture maxing. It's like they're making idiots out of themselves, and they get fucking they rejected, or they get into fights with another guy because they fucking grind it up on some other fucking dude's woman, right? And you don't know because you're drunk, and before you know it, you're getting punched in the fucking face in the middle of the dance floor, and then you just made a fucking spectacle of yourself, right? Who the fuck needs to do that? So I would rather just sit there and just watch the fucking show. I like being around the females. I like being around them because the moment if you just act like you just sit there and it ain't shit. Watch. Well, I promise you, someone will come up to maybe not in the beginning of the night, but if you just hang out long enough throughout the whole night, one of these drunk bitches will just she like that there he is. I'm gonna talk to him later after this guy gets the fuck off me, right? Yep, totally, totally. I was there last week. I had two chicks come up to me and start rubbing their tits on my shoulders. What are you doing? What are you doing here? I'm thinking like, oh, I don't know. Like, do you guys want to come back to my place later tonight, or what are you guys doing? Like, I drove here. I can drive. You guys don't need a cab. I'm sober here. I'm drinking water. Oh, really? Oh my god, totally. You're so cute. Blah, blah. Simple, bro. It's not hard. Then you can just rizz them up. Oh, you ladies look freaking beautiful tonight. What brings you out here tonight? Oh, I just broke up with my boyfriend and blah, blah, blah. You're like, oh, yeah, crazy. Me too. I just broke up with my boyfriend or my girlfriend, I should say. Well, it doesn't matter, right? Whatever. We live in the free, open sexual market now as the LGBTQ community. It doesn't really matter now. Half the time, you don't even know what you're bringing home. You might bring home a chick with a dick, right? Every man's fantasy. But this whole getting married thing is like it's just been programmed by you can have a kid, you can totally have a kid, just don't get legally married. Don't move women into your house, don't do none. My stepdad, man, I didn't know who my real dad was, but my stepdad was a fucking G. He didn't take shit from anybody, including my mom. My mom tried to fucking um, like batten down the hatches with this guy, and this guy did. He's like, listen, bitch, I took fucking you and your son in. What goes on here, it was what I say goes on here. Or you can fucking go back to the streets. He wasn't like one of these little stepdad, the dad who stepped up. He fucking beat me. He whooped my ass. He died a couple of years ago. He slipped on ice, hit his head. It was really sad. I miss him because I didn't have a dad, but this guy at least was man enough to fucking. I really got to know what it was like to be around masculine men. This guy was never like when I say he beat me, he didn't. It was because I stepped out of line. It wasn't because he was just an abusive asshole. He was just implementing discipline into my life, which allowed me now at 34 to be as successful as I am. Mortgage paid off, trucking career, things like that. Things that I go, well, I can be one of the guys. I don't have to tolerate shit like this, where these beta guys, just yes, dear, walking on eggshells and shit like that. Every time I got into an argument with a chick, I said, "There's the door. There's the door. You don't fucking like it? See you later." That's how I run things. And then they just, can't do it to this guy, so they walk away. And it's perfect because you don't want to be in a fucking shitty situation like this anyway. At all, ever in your life as a man, because that is completely emasculating, completely shitty. It's not fun. And it's not the way I was raised. It's not the way anybody should be raised as a man, because that's what's really making society shit. There's too many simps out there. And there's too many. And why would a chick want to be with a man when they're, it's like when OF is literally her sugar daddy. There's no point in being with a man, right? She's getting money from a bunch of simps. She thinks you're all fucking disgusting. She's like, yeah, I'll just play this game with these guys, I guess. Here's my pussy for $5. $5, everybody. Here's a picture of my pussy with a dildo in it. And every guy, oh my god, it's so hot. Here's $5. Here's $10. And you're just like, and then after that's done, that post not clarity kicks in because you're like, what the fuck did I just do? Why would I do that? That's so stupid. That was $5 I could have put into fucking crypto or stocks or something. You know what I mean? Or that's $5 that could have went to my mortgage payment. That could have paid it off faster. Compound interest in that. I paid my mortgage off at fucking 33 years old. I could have had it paid off way sooner, but I would have been penalized and all that. But I don't get penalized. I don't even care, because I woke the fuck up and I realized, like, as a man, it's like money is what you really need in this life. And you can still have a kid with some of these bitches. Just don't do it legally. Don't get married. Don't do none of that. You might end up owing child support at some point. I don't know. I don't think you really need to do this. And you need to let your woman know, listen, I love you, but I will not sacrifice my own, my beliefs for something like this. I will love you to the end of time. I just need you to be on my team with this. You know what I mean? It's like you work for me. I can't let you. I can't. It's just like think of this like the whole wedding thing concept. Think of it as like a job. Like if I go to work at a Domino's or if I were to go to work for a company somewhere, and the company was like a man, and I'm applying to work for this man, right? It's like my husband, but the company itself starts really treating me like the prize. Like, please don't quit. Please don't quit. Like, we'll never fire you. Like, oh, here's $1,000 on top of your paycheck. Like, don't quit. I'm gonna act like I'm the shit around that fucking place. I'm gonna act like I don't give a fuck. I don't even need to fucking sweep the floors. I don't need to fucking make the pizzas. I'll just stand there all fucking day. That's what a lot of that is when you're fucking around with these chicks and you start shelling out money and getting signing contract. Like this really will blow back up in your face because you got to treat yourself first as a business. You got to treat, fucking Dark Magician Enterprises. You know what I mean? So when a chick, and does a woman ever yell at her boss? It's like, no. So what makes you think it's okay to fucking yell at me or yell at you and nag you and do, bitch, you're fired. You are fired. You do not yell at the boss. You're gone. Out. But you can't even do that anymore because if you live here for more than 2 years without a prenup, and even then a prenup can get thrown out. So now it's almost like, well, I can't hire anybody. Therefore, society's crumbling. Men aren't gonna fucking sign up for that deal. Like we're not stupid. Like yeah, I'll just hire a fucking prostitute. Or an escort or whatever, right? I'll just go onto the web, right? Bam. What do they call that? Craigslist. Do it right now. 200 fucking bucks an hour. That's all I need. Done. That's the most. I resent the idea, but I resent the idea of giving money, giving women money for sex. I really do. But if it comes fucking down to that, and that's you know what I mean? When all the societal pressure of having to do this shit, and we reject it, and the only other way to fucking get pussy without having to fucking get a chick falsely accusing you or anything, just pay the fucking lady $200 and get it out of your system, right? If it has to come to that, just fucking do it, and then you'll find out it's not that fucking special, and then you can go about your life, right? So, but yeah, this was a cool video. It was crazy. I wanted to deep dive into this with you. I thought, it was some great information for a lot of us, and we could kind of go forward together throughout this journey and see where this craziness leads us. I've been having a blast finding out about female nature. I think it's fantastic. I think it's great. Where I live right now in BC, Canada, we have really shitty laws here. We have common law. In Pennsylvania, they don't have common law there at all. There's no such thing as common law marriage. Here in BC, you are fucked. If you're together for more than 6 months or a year or 2 years or something like that, you're considered legally married by law. And you didn't even propose to her. What the fuck kind of deal is that? So that's when you know it's a scam. That's when you know they're really trying to fucking, like the Matrix is really trying to fucking put. And the lady who did that here in our province was a lady by the name of Shirley Bond. Shirley Bond, if you look her up, I think she was administrator general or something like that for the BC government. And what she had done was pass legislation that allowed common law to take place and come into full effect. I think it was like March 18th, 2013. I know who you are, bitch. Yeah, I know. And then you dive deep into to find out who makes these laws, and you almost want to like write to them. You fucking cunt. You're a fucking bitch. I get it, man. I know a lot of guys are frustrated out there. But maybe you should write to, if you live in BC and you're struggling out there, maybe write to your administrators and be like, hey, what the fuck? Why are you fucking up for everybody? Because nobody wants to have kids now. How come you don't want to play the game where you lose? It's like, well, no, I want to leave the country. Like, if you fuck men over in the country and guys start doing the whole passport bro thing and then they fucking leave because they don't want to have kids here because it's too much of a fucking risk. Because let's be honest, it's gotten really bad. Yeah, what's the solution to that? More immigration? That's not gonna fucking solve. You're just adding more to the problem. But we can't talk about that. That's too sensitive. So we'll keep it PG. We won't go. That's a topic for another fucking time. Won't go too far into that kind of crap. But yeah, again, I'm gonna leave it here and keep saying, I keep lifting, keep getting all that frustration out of you. Play some games, whatever, chill out, go to a pool, play some pool, go swimming, jump into a lake, join a gun club, do anything else, but rot away in a bed somewhere, getting mad about not getting pussy. Don't do that. You'll self destruct. What I do is I got into trucking. I hang out with my trucker bros. We go for fucking beers. We go for fucking. We go to the casino every once in a while. Max limit, $200, $100, $200. Just so just to have some fun with the boys, and that's basically it. Sometimes gaming online. If you like to game online, that's great too. Nothing wrong with that. But I would try to limit that because you should try and explore more out there in the real world. So we'll kick it. We'll kick it here for now, and you guys have a great one, and we'll see you on the next video.